Okay, what's up, guys? I'm going to be explaining to you why most men don't achieve their fitness goals. Put these glasses on, it's pretty bright outside. But yeah, let's get into it. I've been coaching guys for a little while now, and I run into the same situations all the time. You know, a lot of guys get off of work and kind of just run into the same routine of being in the same situation. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of dive into why most guys never make progress and just stay stagnant. You know, whether it's health issues related, whether it's getting in shape, whatever your goals are. You know, if you're trying to lose weight, pack on more muscle, I'm gonna explain to you why these things happen. You know, you got these goals, but you never achieve them. So, why you don't achieve your goals? Why you don't achieve your goals is because you're not progressing, you're not moving forward, you're not taking the next step. Okay, most guys work, a normal job. I help a lot of truck drivers out. They have a stagnant job. They sit a lot, driving the truck. And then during the workday, what are they doing? Snacking, talking on the phone, just chips, stuff like that. And then when they go eat lunch, it's not really healthy lunch. Minimal amount of protein, super greasy foods, stuff that's not good for you, okay? All this is adding up to health problems, being fat, being overweight, okay? They do that, they get off of work, and then what do they do when they get off of work? Sit down, see what's on TV, maybe, if they got a family, mess around with your wife and kids, and it's time for bed pretty much, right? And then it's just on repeat. So you go to work, you eat bad food, you get home, you eat some pizza or whatever with the family, and never go to the gym and never, take time out of your day to work on yourself. You only got one body here on earth, so you got to take care of it, man, if you want to live a long life on earth. So with that being said, how do you take care of your body? If you're working a lot of hours, if you don't have time. Okay, first thing, let's control the controllables. Everybody has 24 hours in a day. Let's say you work some guys work up to 13 hours a day. Okay, 8 to 13 hours you could be working. Sitting there not being able to be in the gym, being active, say you're working a sedentary job, driving a semi or whatever it is, whether it's a desk job, whatever. I'm really just going to focus on semi drivers right now. Why you're not getting in shape is you're doing the same things on repeat and you're not getting active. So you got to control the controllables. Controlling the controllables include eating, getting active, not, participating in bad activities, meaning, drugs and all this stuff, alcohol, things that are just going to put you down the rabbit hole even worse than, just eating unhealthy. So, control the controllables. What are the controllables? Your time that you are able to use in your free time, and what you're doing with your time while you are at work, okay? While you are at work, what are you eating? Are you snacking on chips all day? Or are you going out of your way and getting some fast food? Are you making these bad decisions? Or are you packing your meals before you go to work the night prior, maybe getting up 30 minutes earlier before work, packing your meals, packing your healthy protein substitutions instead of, pulling through the fast food drive-through or pulling through wherever and eating thousands of calories of junk and BS, okay? Control the controllables, guys. You got a certain amount of time, you're working, and then you get off of work, and what do? Instead of going and getting some BS pizza or making a bunch of high carbohydrate meals, whatever, getting off of work that you don't need, what you should be doing is eating a nice dinner and then getting to the gym, okay? Instead of sitting on the couch watching TV, eating a pizza and some ice cream, okay? Control the controllables. You probably got kids. You probably got a family. Probably coming home and got to mow the grass or whatever it is. Take care of the pool, for instance, okay? Do these things, get them out of the way, you know. Get active. Do some activities that are, instead of doing cardio, spending more time in the gym doing cardio, you could be, you know, getting out, getting active, playing with your kids, you know, counting that as your cardio, right? You could be doing other things instead of sitting down on the couch, right? Or laying down, whatever it is. You might be tired, okay? But why are you tired? It's all a big rabbit hole of just a loop and a loop and a loop of why are you tired? Why do you not have energy? You know, I'm eating bad food. And it's all caused by what you're putting in your body and what you're doing, okay? So we're going to go back to the controllables. This is why most guys don't change, because they know they have a specific goal, whether it's to be healthier, you know, let's say lower your blood pressure, get off of the cholesterol medications, the diabetic medications, whatever the case may be. All of this stuff comes from what you're eating, okay? We were born with a clean slate for the most part, unless you got some genetic disorder. We were all born with a clean slate. You know, we had no problems, besides, yet again, the genetic disorders. If, you know, we got cholesterol, diabetes, blood pressure, all of that's caused by what we've put in our bodies, okay? We didn't just get it out of the blue. And all this stuff that we're putting in our bodies is bad, okay? So how do you get rid of it? Now we're on this ever-ending cycle of having health problems, you know, not having energy, all this stuff. So yet again, control the controllables. Everybody has 24 hours. Everybody has the ability to make a decision if I'm going to, you know, eat that greasy hamburger or prep some chicken, you know, some beef, make some eggs in the morning, stuff like that. Or we could, you know, eat the Hostess donuts at the gas stations, okay? This all ties back to our health problems and our energy levels and all that. Okay, so this is why most guys do not change, because they fall into the loop. They fall into the cycle of waking up, eating bad food, going to work, eating bad food, getting off of work, eating bad food. And then they're like, oh, I don't have energy to go to the gym, so they don't go to the gym. Why don't they have energy to go to the gym? Because they're eating bad food. Why are they eating bad food? Because they lack discipline. Why do they lack discipline? Because it's a habit. It's a routine that they've built over time. They've gotten into a routine of, okay, I'm going to eat bad food for lunch, eat bad food for dinner, have no protein, I'm going to have no energy, and then I'm going to say I don't have enough time to do all this stuff. But in reality, you do have time, because everybody has the same amount of time in the day, okay? I coach guys that work hours and hours. They work 60 plus hours a week, and they're still getting in the best shape of their life, okay? Because they don't make excuses. They make the healthier decisions. They make the changes. Yeah, it's going to be hard at the beginning to start making the changes, but guess what? You have to choose your hard. Choose your hard of staying in the same situation and not feeling good and complaining about how you feel and how you have no energy and you're not confident within yourself. Or you can choose your hard of getting up maybe an hour earlier, doing some workouts, however you're going to fit it in your day. Choose your hard. Work out later in the day. Pack your meals before work, pack them the night prior. You got to figure it out on your own schedule. This is why most guys are not changing, because they would rather choose their hard of staying in the same situation and not enjoying the way they look and the way they feel and the way they act, okay? You need to choose your hard, and choose your hard the better way. You got two options, okay? You got the hard life over here that's sitting in that couch, getting off work, sitting there, watching the TV, you know, not doing stuff, stay in the same situation. You got all these health problems. You're not in the best shape of your life yet. You know, you're fat, maybe skinny. You're trying to gain weight, whatever the case may be. You got this hard right here. You got the hard that you're living right now, or you got this other hard over here that I personally have chosen. That is getting up earlier, you know, going to bed later, whatever the case may be, making the healthier decisions to get in shape. Packing my meals, I'm not eating out. And if I do eat out, I'm making good decisions. I'm not eating BS food, okay? I'll teach you guys this stuff. I'll teach you the exact things that you need to do to choose your hard the right way. Going to the gym, having energy to go to the gym, okay? Doing my cardio, taking my health supplements, choosing the right things instead of choosing the easy way out, which is the other hard, the hard that you're in right now. You hate the way you look, you hate the way you feel. I love the way I feel and I love the way I look, but I make the decisions off of the camera that you guys will never see, of waking up every single morning and doing my fasted cardio. Okay, it's just a habit, it's a ritual. You know, packing my meals, going to the gym, you know, these things that I do sometimes that I don't sometimes feel like doing, but I still do them anyway because this is my heart. I chose my heart of having a good life and living hard. Or you can live easy and have a hard life, okay? Choose your hard, guys. And this is why people do not change, because they never choose their hard the other way around. They would rather choose their hard of being complacent, being in the same things over and over and over, being in that same situation, you know? You need to choose your hard the other way around. Choose the way that most people, 90% of the population, does not, okay? That's really going to be the main difference of getting in shape, making the change. So it's like, okay, Brock, I want to make the change, but I don't know the first thing to do. Okay? I, myself, have been doing this for 7 years. I became the best teenage bodybuilder in the state of Ohio when I was 18. I had a passion for bodybuilding at one point. Now I just have a passion for being healthy and helping other people out to be healthy and to live a long, healthy life and choosing the hard the right way. Okay, I've been doing this for 7 years. I never got momentum. I never started making more changes until I just got a coach. I was selfish in a sense to think that I could do it all on my own. I thought, you know, I could learn everything, you know, maybe save a couple bucks to not pay for a coach and just kind of guess everything. And, you know, I realized that I was getting overwhelmed and I wasn't even making progress. But as soon as I invested into a coach that knew everything, that's been in my shoes or has helped other people in my shoes, I started making changes rapidly, like so fast, okay? Instead of not wasting, but utilizing your time in the wrong way of just hours and hours of research, YouTube videos, you know, looking stuff up, AI, we have AI now. Instead of using all of your time trying to learn, use your time of putting in the work. So okay, money is time and time is money, okay? Time is money. Everybody has to work to get paid, and you also pay for your time. So you could use the time that you have free for, you know, your wife and kids playing around outside once you get off of work, you know, whatever you're doing, going out, okay? You could use that time and have more of that time by investing into a coach that already has done the time of researching and understanding on how they can help you choosing the right hard and how to do so, making your time more efficient by paying for your time. Or you can just spend hours and hours and hours on the other side of things of researching and, you know, trying to figure out the best meals, the best workouts, the best thing. But in reality, the only way to really figure out what works for you is to practice, have trial and error, and practice and have trial and error of things that, you know, I have already helped other people do it. Okay, let's just use me as an example. Okay, I have helped many clients in different situations achieve their dream physique because I have helped many people out, and I know what you need to do for this exact body type and what they're trying to achieve. Whether you're trying to gain weight, get more muscular, get more tone, lose some pounds along the way. Okay, I have done the trial and error, myself included, my body type, other body types, other jobs, truck drivers, the sedentary jobs, the jobs where you don't have a lot of time. Okay, I've helped these certain individuals out achieve dream physiques that they had, but they just never knew that it was possible because they thought it was way out of reach and they just never had enough time to do so. Okay, I helped them choose their hard the right way, and I guided them in the right direction to make it not even as hard as it needs to be. Okay, I made it 10 times harder on myself when I didn't have a coach because I was guessing and guessing and guessing, and I was a test monkey. I was trial and error on myself because I never knew what the exact formula I needed. The exact formula is what's really going to set you apart from you and your dream physique. But that formula isn't just the diet and the workout plan. It's the formula that you can consistently do every single day. Okay, the routine, the healthy routine. Yet again, it goes back to choosing your hard. Okay, the formula of choosing your hard, but it's not actually hard. Okay, it can be extremely hard if you don't have the plan. But the thing is when you choose your hard and you have someone by your side choosing your hard with you, it's not going to be as hard as it seems to be. Okay, if you guys are trying to get in the best shape of your life and you're living that hard, but you want to choose the other hard, but you just don't want it to be harder than it is right now. Okay, you got this easy life, but in reality you're not confident, you don't like the way you look, you just hate to still be in that same situation, versus it's going to be hard but your life's going to be so much better. If you want to make that change, I can help you do so. Okay, I will make that change for you. I will help you start living the good hard and stop living the bad hard. You got two different ones. I'm going to start allowing you to live that good hard life, the one that you're proud of, the one that you feel good about. You wake up each and every single day and you love. Okay, if you want to choose that hard, click the link below, fill out the form, and let's get to work. Let's change your life around, man. Let's change your life to the good hard that you want. The life that's hard but you enjoy, not the life that's hard and you don't enjoy. Okay? Let's make that change, guys. This is why most guys do not change.